Hey, everybody, welcome to you will discuss episode 3, technically
Trace.
4. This is batches of episodes 11 through 15. Um, if you are watching at home along with us, I hope you are having fun. I don't know if this batch of episodes, this is like the make or break section. I feel like if you thought the first 10 episodes were really awesome, then you get to these and you're like, then just don't watch anymore.
Well, I don't want to like derail it before we even get through my introduction. I think it's
But yeah,
personally crazy to hit episode, especially like y- if you don't even make it through this batch, then I'm afraid you're hopeless.
yeah,
Um, if you like the there being a stopper, because I don't think it really turns until like midway through the block anyway, because I think that 13 is actually the tipping point. But anyway, let's do the intros.
intros. Hello, me, Zach. That J.J. That Taylor. Taylor, you like Evangelion? Question mark.
Yeah. Question mark. You will indicate your preferences. Yeah. So, um, I was an old Toonami guy. Because I'm from the 80s, grew up in the 90s, and Toonami was many other people of my generation, other than the ones that were like super tuned in. Toonami was like, and Adult Swim is how I ingested stuff, and um, I don't even remember how I first watched Eva, to be perfectly honest. It was pre like full streaming. Um, I figured out torrenting like fairly early on in my lifetime.
Whoa.
I was in the Kazaa and LimeWire generation, so I definitely remember like LimeWiring Japanese DBZ
Mm-hmm.
during the Boo saga. So, like, the framing it out of like where I ended up. Um, One thing that I distinctly remember of, I was definitely living at home still, which dates nothing for everybody that's watching this show. I'm 38 and I was living at home because it was after the financial crisis. So it could have been like any time until 16 years ago. Um, I don't remember the exact year. It doesn't matter. Anyway, what I do distinctly remember is being upstairs in my room in the house that I grew up in, and I get to the last 3 episodes of Evangelion, and this is before I even knew about End of Evangelion and the kind of retelling of the endings, which we won't discuss the particulars of here, but JJ and Zach know what I'm referring to. So I'm watching the
I
first
sure do.
run. I'm watching the first run of the ending of Evangelion. So episodes like 24, 25, and 26. And I remember literally just falling asleep because um, of the way that the show is. And the first time around, being as young as I was, and um, not in mental like disrepair in any way, and I don't mean that negatively, but like it didn't affect me intimately in that way. And so those parts of those episodes, which will be explored by JJ and Zach in significant depth later on, um, it like did not resonate, and so I literally just fell asleep. Anyway, that's me and Evangelion. That was the start. I then have since rewatched it several times. Since then, the most recent one, Zach, I listened to episode 0, 1, and 2, and so you guys were talking about the we Netflix did the relaunch of the updated script and updated dub, along with, I think they visually remastered
Yeah.
portions
Yeah,
of it,
in
right?
case you're curious, back in the day, the Platinum Edition, everything got a remaster except for episode 16 because of for reasons that we'll get to when we get to episode
Yeah, I don't
16.
remember episode 16. I'd have to cheat.
Uh, Episode 16's the
Hold on.
real breaking point, I would say.
I'm just reading
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Uh,
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah.
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
So so when they did the Blu-ray remaster, that was like like everything got like a fresh coat of paint on it.
Yeah. But yeah, so then I did my most recent rewatch was the 2019. And then I might have even actually done another one when the last Rebuild movie dropped. Because that was, when was that? 2 years ago? 22, 24?
It was like 21.
Yeah,
Was it that long ago?
2021, yeah.
That's most likely so that's the last time that I've done it. But I've never done it with any type of specific interest in critical reflection of it, other than being a cool anime to watch. I mean, like, I'm aware of the themes, but like I've never been like, let's examine the themes.
It's actually, for JJ and I, even though we are in tune with those like outside themes and stuff, watching it this time with a critical eye, it changes a lot.
It's definitely very different.
It's crazy.
Actually, you guys already treaded on this, but I when I was watching episode 1 and I texted Zach, I was chatting with Zach a bunch with episode 1 because episode 1 is it's an insane opening to any anime ever. It's fucking crazy. But one of the scenes that popped to me more than any other is, of course, they're going down the escalator. And it's just the fucking Eva hand is just there in the background. It's one of the sickest fucking shots. And Shinji is just reading the manual, so he doesn't even see the hand. And of course, it turns out that it's Unit 1, like reaching out towards it. No. It's just, it's everything was sick. The fact of how fast it moves, and like, I don't want to compare it with a significantly inferior piece of fiction in the same vein, but when I've rewatched Sword Art Online like 2 times maybe, and I had a similar whiplash experience. I know you're like, what the fuck are we doing here? But what the point I'm making is that I had a similar whiplash of how much faster paced things move than what I remembered. And that's especially because I watched that Sword Art Online like actually week to week the first time around. And then you when you don't have that barrier and you watch like 5 episodes in a row, you're like, oh, we're already this far along. I thought this happened like way later. And then it's like, there are
absolutely moments where you're like, oh, I thought that happened in like the second half of the series. But
right.
No,
there's that
episode
moment.
Episode 4.
Evangelion added on to that in a weird way, which is that it also goes really, really slow for some story beats. So like my example here is that Shinji gets in the fucking robot in episode 1, and I'm like, wait, what? He does? And
he does.
And then on top of it, I'm doing the rewatch with following along in the same cadence, and I'm like, where the fuck is Asuka? Like, is she not in the show? Like, when does she show up in the show? And so like it's funny that rewatching Eva is both things at the same time. It's like moving way faster than I remember and also way slower than I remember, especially when we talk about the things that we're going to talk about for this batch of episodes. And
this is what kind of gives me like immense like satisfaction, because it's just like people can live in both camps, and it's just really fun to be like, listen, if you actually examine this piece of media and you look at it, you'll see it in a different light. And it feels so good to be like, I told you, like, it's there. You just have to pay attention. You actually have, there's stuff to find for anybody with the eyes to see. I mean, unless you guys have any other intro moments to do, I mean, I have a preamble that I want to put in here, so it's a part of this piece. Just so the things that JJ and I talk about later at some point, we don't seem like we're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So The creators of Evangelion, they like to insist that they just randomly pick names, symbolism, and whatnot from different spiritual backgrounds and things. Which, if we take their word for, if we have a few examples of the beams from when an angel dies, yeah, it looks cool. The name of the series itself, like, yeah, that's a weird, like, Christian thing. Or the names of the angels are very just like surface level looking like Christian stuff. But we need to touch on some things here before we kind of gloss over that. So, in writing, there are these things, these tools that writers use called illusion and allegory. And in anime, usually not used. Sometimes they're not even thought of. But these are intentional devices used by writers to subliminally communicate complex and deeper meanings to you, the viewer. So, the true meaning of the stories that we see isn't always the truth. And that is very true for Ava. There's so much happening on a critical level when we're looking at it, and then we think like, oh, that reminds me of this thing. That's a very intentional thing. It's supposed to add to the story. So now we're getting into these episodes where the veil is slowly being lifted, and there's all this weird stuff happening. But did you guys know the name Ikari in Japanese means anchor? Just throw that out there.
Sure, it's a coincidence.
The creators, whenever they speak about this series, they are doing an intentional thing. They're making the true meaning confusing on purpose. That is just what they're doing because they want you to do the work yourself. They're not going to tell you anything. One guy could be like, "Yeah, it's cool that we put crosses in there." The other guy could be like, "It doesn't mean anything." That's not the truth because what is here within the text represents so much, right?
You know what?
And it's hard to deny that.
You know what's also sick at the same time to think about is they literally just did it off the cuff and managed to put together a cohesive a piece of media so cohesive that everything is possible. Or they're the iterative narrative that they were able to establish and constantly, like, somebody wove essentially a tapestry, except that the tapestry, every single time somebody notched an extra line of thread on, that they were like, somebody was able to look at and be like, I can make a bigger picture out of it. So I think that even in the case that everything was like, if hypothetically, if it was actually not designed from the outset, which I don't necessarily adhere to one opinion or the other, even if it is the case that there was no specific grand design from the beginning, the fact that it was woven together by the end to be what it is almost equally as magnificent. It's ridiculous to say that the end, what we result in, was spontaneous. It's like, you're telling me that you flew it off the cuff and this is what the result was. I don't know. It's like saying a middle school basketball team like joined the Olympics and won because of like circumstance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
Both are considerably like concerted like acts of God. Like it's actually crazy. Anyways, episode 11. Ooh, before we get into the batch, favorite episode of the batch, JJ.
Oh, Jesus. God, I don't know, man. I love 11 and 12 a lot. 11 has... we'll talk about it when we start talking about 11, what I like about 11. And 12 is just... the mask officially starts slipping in 12 in meaningful ways. So we'll get to that. It's
Taylor T. Bliss, favorite episode.
I think it's probably 12 because of Honestly, part of it is because of like how dumb the angel is. I think the angel is goofy as shit. I love reading. Wikipedia is like a big part of, I think, doing the critical introspection here. I mean, there's just so much accumulation of information that has been condensed into the Wikipedia articles for the individual episodes, even if some of it is repeated over and over
Yeah.
again. But anyway, like learning about the fact that they wanted to do like a ribbon like design for the angel, and then what the result ended up with is just like super fucking funny to me. The But the other part of it is the the return to the like kinetic style of animation that the Evas have in episode 12 is super super powerful. And I mean, it's probably like in the top 3 overall, outside of rebuild and movie animation quality. I it's got to be up there.
It's yeah.
Three
Episode
Children's significant development in terms of their progress. There's huge Masato
Yeah.
movement for her
There
character.
is, buddy. Let me tell you.
So
11 and 12 are fun too because you don't get a whole lot of the 3 children being the pilots together as a cohesive unit fighting a unified threat. There's usually it's like Marvel movies where they have to find a way to break the team up every chance they can get. So,
One Piece. It's like One Piece.
One Piece. The One Piece is real.
and then which one is the one with the spider one?
That's 11.
11.
That's 11. So yeah, I mean they do it back to back then.
Yeah.
Like the 3 children are like, all right, let's fucking do it. But yeah, 11's a ripper too. It's just like
11
it's
is
just
a
different.
ripper.
But anyway, well, who's let's see everybody else's favorite? Or
Me.
Me.
I said 11 and 12.
Yeah, Zach.
Yeah. I can't.
Episode 15.
15? Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I get why. I mean,
yeah, I know why.
I mean, you could do it for the cliffhanger alone.
There's a little part in there that makes me go, ooh. Episode 14 too. I really like episode 14.
14, I literally I wrote down as my first line for episode 14 notes was budget problems ?
Oh.
No, that's episode 16.
Which is really funny because episode 14 is 50% reuse animation cells. I mean, they literally did not.
Dude, there's a fucking shot in episode 13 where it's just a side shot of Gendo, and it's like one of the most beautifully like animated things I've ever seen. It's just him from the side. It's crazy. Anyway, so episode 11, we
the day Tokyo 3 stood still.
It sure does, buddy. Let's see. There is a more concerted effort in this episode to give us kind of a look-see-loo inside of what's going on at Nerve. Do we like what's going on in there? Who knows? And I love seeing how like it becomes kind of like an Office Place kind of like show at this point, where it's like you get to learn how everyone's working together.
We also learn quite a bit about not just Nerve, but the way that Japan has changed as well, because it's basically explicitly iron out. It's like 30 seconds worth of dialogue, which is basically says they're talking about the 3 magi, right? Yeah. And like, oh well,
Dogma.
And they're like, oh well, you know, the government is I mean, yeah, it's there for show, but they just listen to whatever the magi say anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And as we learn in the next couple of episodes where the 3 magi are and who run what they are. So.
And it's also like a throwaway line too, which is
that's what I'm saying. It was passing conversation. It was like literally water cooler talk.
And that's what JJ and I keep picking up on, is there's just so much stuff that happens in the background that's said that you're like, Right. They're just talking about it. It's
Yeah,
it's
Um,
crazy.
and it's stuff that doesn't come back up for episodes. Like it's
mhm.
throwaway lines, and then like 3 or 4 episodes later, it like actually comes to roost. Every moment is a Chekhov's gun in this show.
Uh,
So going with the progress of the episode, Shinji calls his papa. He's like, "Hey, papa, I need you to come to school." And he's
oh,
like,
that's
"Talk,
right.
talk to Misato." What?
And you're like,
I
I've already
ain't your
designated
dad.
this to somebody else.
Yeah.
He's like, "Talk to your guardian." What? And then guess what, fellas? There's two single people in an elevator. The
Oh
electricity
yeah.
shuts off.
Oh
Oh
no.
no!
This
So
episode
they're
is the most joke packed episode as well. Like this is they got all their
it.
comedy out in this one.
They got all their comedy out and they do it well.
Mm.
Thermonuclear expansion. They tried to do this and
Yeah.
they just kind of fail at it. And this one, they're like, let's do it again, but do
Yeah.
it good.
The one thing that I wanted to mention, which happened, I think, before we technically lose, no, it's like as we're losing the power, is the cuts that,
The cuts.
where, and it literally happened, I think, while I was writing down this note, which is, it's specifically, I forget what the exact scene was, but it was maybe Briscoe talking about some good news, and then immediate cut, and it's flat, and it flips to emergency, and they it happens again, literally, I think multiple times in the next 4 episodes as well. But it's something that, and I don't know if it's anode direction or whose
It
input
is. The
specifically,
goat. He's here.
but yeah, those cuts are hugely important because you come to expect them in certain moments, and then what happens is that they don't happen every time, and so now you're left in a constant state of, wait, which moments are going to flip or not. And
Mhm.
so it adds in the suspense. The other thing that happened on with this episode, specifically in the suspense, is that there's no music for
Notably.
like
Yeah.
almost 10 minutes until well, we'll get to the until in a second.
Until.
But
Whoa.
the last thing I want to mention is that when Shinji is on the phone with his dad, dear old dad, what was interesting to me is, and this comes up a little bit later in the episode, is that he looks really perturbed about how the call ends, because he's like, he's like surprised. It's like, wait, my dad wasn't done yelling at me yet.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and when everybody else is like, well, of course your dad was an asshole, like he doesn't like you, and he's like, no, this was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's like, you guys don't get it. This is not the thing. Something's wrong.
Yeah, because like Ray and Oscar are like, bro, just don't worry about it. Something bad's going on over there. And
Yeah.
he's just like, hell no.
Mm.
Because also, you have to think in Shinji's mind, he's been doing pretty well too recently, piloting and doing his job. So he's probably like, maybe my daddy will be nice for once. Maybe he'll be like, good job.
He's your good boy.
Not
boy.
yet. We'll get there. But anyway, so
Not
we're continuing
yet.
on. Now the kids are on the outside. They know something's wrong, and they got to get inside.
They gotta get inside. I love this moment where Asuka's like, I'm the leader, follow me. Let's go this way. And Ray's like, actually go that way. And she's like, yeah, let's go that way. Awesome. Awesome moment. There's something that Asuka does I really love is she is kind of like she's constantly the character that's like breaking against the walls of the structure of the story. She's constantly pushing down things.
Yeah.
It's very fun watching her bounce around like an insane person within the constraints of the episode. And this one is very much her being unreleased, like unrelinquished of anything.
Yeah.
So they try and get in the doors, they don't open.
Yeah. I was told Zach earlier, Asuka does everything she can in the series to keep it a standard shonen mecha anime. She is doing everything in her power to keep it on that path. in this episode, she is desperate for it to just be that.
Yeah, because like they're trying to go through and they can't get through the door because electricity's out. And then a big spooky spider angel appears and he starts
Oh, yeah.
stomping
Well,
around.
and this is the juxtaposition of Asuka being like, "No, I'm the leader. All right, we're going this way," and they're like, and Shinji goes, "Are we supposed to be going uphill?" And she's like, "Yes, shut up." She kicks open the door, and they're above ground again, and then this fucking spider's right there.
Just
And-
looks right at him. It's a Scooby-Doo gag, and it's great.
Yeah, it's so
And
good.
Asuka's scared. She gets scared. The other two are like, okay,
Like,
whatever.
Yeah, it's like no shit.
But yeah, and then I made a note here. It said the shot composition in this episode is unreal.
It's no, I also made a note. There is, and it happens like 3 times in the span of a couple minutes, where they have these angles that are almost isometric, 3/4 top down, where it's just like almost fluorescent colored, and with the characters in the foreground. And I mean, they do the shot frequently, but I don't know, they just hit different on this one for some reason, with the almost like shadow puppetry in the front of the characters, and the coloring on those shots in particular, and the way that they were selected just work extremely well.
And then Shinji cranks that soldier boy to open the door. And then they open the door into the Geofront, and we get a lore drop, boys. We get to learn what the Geofront is.
Yeah, baby.
The Geofront was created to be an independent colony to work potentially, keyword, if the outside world was uninhabitable. There are, and they're just kind of talking about
I
that.
didn't write this one down.
And they just kind of keep going over it. So we talk about symbolism a lot in this show. There are 2 things they show us here. They show us a giant ass obelisk, which we've kind of seen, and then the big pyramid shows up, which we've seen before.
Right.
But
we see the pyramid.
But in here, there's a little. They're talking about this being this kind of this like haven. Like if humanity fails, there will still be life here. So the symbolism that's
pull up the fucking episode on the side so I can make sure that like I can see what scenes we're talking about.
So the symbolism to me that I really want to point out, because I'm a big symbol guy. I like reading into things. So in a ancient Christian tradition, these pyramids represented kind of the heart of God or the Lord or Ra, essentially. And then the obelisk is also kind of a representation of Ra. They used to see it back in ancient Egyptian times as a way to kind of harness the power of the sun, basically from God. So they were believed to channel solar energy, acting as petrified rays of the sun. And in the Old Testament, God himself strictly forbade the erection of sacred pillars. They are explicitly described as idols of jealousy or abominations that lead people into false worship. Interesting. And then we have Gendo immediately after. Man's greatest enemy is his fellow man.
Yeah, I did. This one I did write down. I said, yeah, the enemy of mankind is mankind.
So I'm just saying, I'm not crazy. I'm not losing it. And then the kids are talking, and Shinji's like, these angels, they just keep showing up. They're like emissaries of God. Why are we fighting the emissaries of God? And Asuka's just like, I don't know, we're just fucking killing them, dude.
Shut up,
Well,
nerd.
yeah. My last note of this episode was Asuka says that there's no way to know why the angels are attacking, and you're just like,
Yeah. And then
Asuka, for being a genius, is also one of the biggest dummies in the show.
yeah, she's a big
right?
dum dum. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's part of the allure of her character.
Yeah.
She's the grounding rod for academic knowledge being irrelevant in the face of institutional knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And
holy
so,
shit, Taylor.
Yeah, nailing it, buddy.
So yeah, I mean, we have, I don't know, she's used as kind of like this litmus test against the adult characters where she has knowledge that they don't have, and they have a knowledge that she doesn't have, and her lack of desire to use and be, adopt that knowledge to like embed it, better herself, and also vice versa. I think that's part of the coming of age portion of the Eva portion is, adults leaving children behind, and children, believing themselves to already be adults when they're not, kind of.
Interesting. I wonder if there's anything else on that.
And the next, really in the next 12 episodes and
it's never gonna come
3
up
movies, we'll figure out something.
It'll never.
How many movies are you guys going to watch? Are you going to do
all of them? We're doing the whole shebang, buddy.
You're doing end of year?
Oh yeah.
What's the plan for figuring out what is real or not with the way that there was kind of retconning of story?
Just the Netflix dub edits everything, so it's whatever's on there. It's like the director's cut is on there.
They did the director's cut,
yeah.
So that's just
the default is director's cut now. So it's just they don't like even the big bad collector's box set that has both the subs and dubs has no original airing versions of it. So
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. I still own the Platinum Collection over here.
That's right. It's directly behind
it's
me.
Got
as
it.
I speak.
All right, well, we kind of got off the rails. The
the electricity's off, and there's an angel attacking. They need the kids.
Most important line of the episode, and is Risco going to think this facility represents the most advanced technology on Earth, but look at and it's in reference to the fact that the air conditioning is down.
Yeah.
So we bring it back full circle to Masato's comment about AC being mankind's greatest invention, and we've already gone full circle in the first 11.
And you're telling me they didn't try with this? They like to act like they're nonchalant, cool guys. Like,
this is my favorite part about making these arguments, is that it's also extremely easy to say that whoever wrote and assisted to write episode 11 was like, hey, this would be a great time to call back to that shit Masato said a few episodes ago.
That's so if they said, like, they just like to act like they didn't even try with anything. They're like, it's just, it just happened. Yeah, like, and they're doing that intentionally. They're just trying to make this happen. What we're doing, like, this is all they want.
But in that same scene, one of the side characters goes, but look at the director. The heat's not getting to him at all, and this is a very humanizing moment where they pan over. They've got the candles around the desk, and his feet are in a bucket of water. And
it says it's humid.
Yeah, and then it goes, it's like the water's lukewarm. Like, yes.
Also, Ritsuko lamenting having to climb up a ladder.
Oh, yeah. It's like, God, who thought that we'd actually ever have to use these ladders?
I just thought they were just
I thought they were for show.
Yeah.
The electricity's out. There's an angel attacking. The children need to get there.
Yeah. We've also ignored, just a second, we've ignored the part where the power being out is not established as being because of the angel. The power being out is because
that is true. That is true. So there's
something.
All of the characters have pretty much all agreed upon that there are basically triplicate levels of backups that should exist to prevent this, and that it is nigh impossible for them all to fail at the same time. Almost like it's nigh impossible for many of the successes of the Evangelion team to pull off any of the things that they do. But here we are.
When you're on the path of divine will, the devil will interject wherever he can,
much like his opposite.
Mm-hmm. So the adults are like, we need these kids, and you know what's really interesting? Nobody's really freaking out about it. They're just like the kids are gonna show up.
You look at it's funny because they use some of the throwaway characters that don't have names to say those lines. But it's weird that because in especially episode 13, when we get there. There are moments that are like, if something doesn't happen the next half of a second, everybody here is going to die. Everybody's just kind of like, they're just sitting there like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nobody's
They-
freaking out.
They have to, the people who work here have to have like the most faith ever, and just kind of like believe in divine measure. Like all of them have to have the same faith that Gendo has, because Gendo, he can't ever second guess he can't have that. He has to always execute and do exactly according to whatever his plan is, right? So everyone else, so that kind of trickles down. But it's interesting to see these moments come from characters who aren't Misato, because Misato, she's always like, I know they're going to show up. I know this is going to happen. I know everything's okay.
Yeah,
and
this one's all basically all coming from Gendo.
Yeah, it's all Gendo and Ritsuko. She is like,
Ritsuko
I know
does
the
it too,
kids
that's true.
will show up. But yeah, Gendo preps the Avas himself with the
By
fucking
hand.
little grunts. Yeah.
This episode to me was like almost all the humanization of Gendo, to make him, or like to showcase the fact that he, despite everything, is a person, has some feelings of some kind. Like we know that he has something because of the way that we've seen him interact with Rey specifically. This is something outside of that. It adds an extra facet to his character. But yeah, I mean the shot of when the kids get there, they fall out of the vent, and then Shinji's like, "Where's my dad?" He's like, your dad. It's like, what do you mean that Evas are ready to go? It's like, well, yeah, your dad's been leading the effort, and it shows Gendo like pulling the fucking cord to get to be able to drop the plug in. Yeah,
pretty cool.
It's good shit. Is that where the side shot comes from that you were talking about, Zach?
What side? No, it's an episode 13.
Or is that's an different episode?
Yeah, he's just chilling at a desk on that episode. That's crazy. And it's just like an insane animation. Anyways, so they go to fight this spider angel. It's a really cool fight. I love whenever they work together. They gotta, get. Someone has to take the hit from the goo so it doesn't dissolve, and then they're like rolling down the tunnel vertically, and they're shooting at it, and then the fight's over. Which is what I love. I love how this show will be like, here's all this shit leading up to the fight. The fight's 20 seconds and it's done. I love it. So much.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's I don't know.
Daddy long legs. What did you expect?
Well, what's amazing about it is that the Avas are the face of the show as the protagonists. The angels are the face of the show as the antagonists on the outside, and the amount of time that they actually spend interacting with each other is extraordinarily short, like incredibly. I mean, it's a very human story, and almost
interesting.
No robots.
Curious, even
when you think about it. The other thing about it, because I literally have episode 11 on my other monitor over here, the animation on 11 is pretty rough. It is kind of bad. Even the Ava portions are pretty crude in the grand scheme. There's keeping them in tunnels meant that they didn't really have to do a lot for advanced animation for them doing. The coolest shot actually just happened, which is when Ava 00 does the thrusters at the falling down at the bottom of the tunnel. And I actually wrote down, I was like, wait, the Evas have thrusters? Because literally never mentioned before, never seen before. And then all of a sudden they got this sick shot of Zero just, doing the graceful fall down to the bottom.
And they decided to animate the episode mostly in darkness, so you only had to use two
the colors are really limited. Very interesting stuff. I mean, the elevator scene is all red scale. The central dogma scene is all blue scale. Very curious.
Yeah.
But I will. The other thing that I did write down was that Asuka was basically dog shit at leading anybody until the moment where they get into the Evas, and she decides on the entire plan of who takes point, who takes shield, who takes second. And that is also that moment where she steps into that role, is when decisive battle starts.
Yep.
And
She's aware of there are two characters in this show that are aware they're in a TV show. She is one of them.
Yes. Like I said, she is desperate to keep this a mecha show at all costs.
And then we get a nice little speech from our little girl, Ray. This is kind of where
she's cooking. She's cooking
this
here.
this is where it finally starts to like fall, where she's like, man fears the darkness, and so he scrapes away at its edges with fire. He creates life by diminishing darkness. She's kind of waxed poetic before, but she's really coming into her own legs here. She has a poem for us later on, and that's just kind of where it ends. The thing that's always so fucking crazy to me watching these is like how fast they end, like how quickly they end. But then also thinking about like, if I was watching this on a week to week basis, I would like go insane.
I would lose my mind. Yeah.
Because the one thing, Taylor, that you're missing out is also like JJ and I touched on this before. Is there's usually like a lead into the next episode, and we have Misato talking about what's going to happen, and it's like almost always a lie, and it's just really funny.
It's so funny because, and also you'll see a trend where if the next episode is a little less serious, she is super serious in the thing. But if the next episode is, because if you watch the end of episode 15, her description of episode 16 is
ridiculous by comparison.
Ridiculous by comparison.
I mean, it's so the way she described the end of Ava is like, get ready for the most fan service you'll ever see. It's the most fun movie of all time. I mean, she's just fucking with you every chance that she gets. But
at the end of episode 11, on the other hand, she signs off not with fan service, but because it's an episode about Misato. She says, watch it with your friends, okay?
Yeah, watch it with your friends. It's the most unhinged. Oh, God.
Boys, episode 12. Title, JJ. What's the title?
Episode 12, my friends, is She Said, Don't Make Others Suffer for Your Personal Hatred.
Did they know what they were doing with that one?
Let me tell you, she did not listen to her own advice.
Okay, JJ.
Yeah.
I'm going to start talking. I need you to.
I've been waiting for the last 2 days for this moment.
Keep our theory in mind as I say what I realize. Okay. So we have the second impact. We get to see it happen. We get to see Misato and her dad. They're together at this Antarctic base.
Did we know exactly when it happened before? Did we know that it was exactly 15 years at 2000 AD?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we learned that. We get to see it. We got to see her scar before.
The moonshot.
Moonshot. Important.
Most important. So the moon and Antarctica, the two most important places in the series.
So
go ahead.
Misato gets put into a pod by her father and pushed into the ocean. This moment, I paused my TV and I said, wait, this reminds me of Moses. Wait, this is crazy. Oh, and I start thinking about it. I start thinking about Moses. And I start thinking about Misato. And I am aghast. JJ, I know what he's thinking, and he knows. So, Misato, she is a guiding, prophetic figure who bears the immense stressful cost of shepherding a new generation through a hostile world to ensure humanity's survival. That is literally Moses, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's I was just like, wait a second, it blew my fucking mind. Combined with what JJ and I are talking about behind the scenes,
Yeah.
it's something that I'm just like, there is no fucking way that this isn't a clear thread that they've planted here.
Those
She's a very clear allusion to Moses.
Yeah.
I'll just yeah.
the the pod that she gets put into is definitely reminiscent of some things that we see way down the line.
Definitely reminiscent of some things that the show's been drawing
Yeah.
allusions from the
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
It's actually insane. So, just as okay, here we go. Both Moses and Misato are thrust into roles that they're neither asked for nor feel emotionally equipped to handle. Moses is called by God to lead the Israelites out of slavery, while Misato takes charge of nerve operations to defend a post-second impact world from the angels. Both carry the overwhelming weight of keeping their followers alive. Just as Moses acts as the intermediary between a wrathful, incomprehensible God in the Old Testament, Misato acts as the buffer between Gendo and the emotionally stunted Ava pilots. Both characters are driven by profound past scars. Moses struggles with a fiery temper and the lingering trauma of his past actions in Egypt, ultimately lashing out at God and the people. Misato carries the immense survivor's guilt and unresolved grief from her father's sacrifice, which manifests as reckless behavior, emotional unavailability, and flawed guardianship. Both characters are guiding their people toward a utopian but better future, and the similarities don't end there. But those are spoilers. Anyways, JJ, did you know that Moses' wife was named Tabris?
Yes. Yes.
Taylor, Google Tabris.
Yeah.
Evangelion.
You listener at home, Google.
Anyways,
wait, why is it him?
I'm just saying. Hey.
Oh, because that's his angel name. Okay. Yeah. I hear you.
This was a huge 2 hours of my life yesterday. I was just like, ah. It was crazy. Anyways, we're back to the children. They're checking out their sync rates. And they're like, Shinji, he's born to pilot this thing.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, before we even go there, the shot composition when we go from it's young Misato, we see basically the effects of the second impact. She's in the pod, and then the scene cut from her sitting up in the pod to adult Misato is crazy work. Because we did see it once before, with the scar that is when they did the hot spring episode, but it's what hot spring.
I missed it.
But anyway, so it's the composition of the shot is her standing up or sitting up in the pod. The camera pans down, looks at the crucifix that she wears. Well, it's not really a crucifix. Looks at the cross necklace.
Cross, yeah.
Sure. I mean, you guys tell me. It's Christian symbolism to me. And it focuses on that. And then the scene cuts. It's looking at adult Misato, and it's looking at the scar on her chest where the cross would sit if she had been wearing it. And I don't know, like, I'm not suggesting that it means anything. What I am suggesting is that it's a sick shot and transition and cool composition.
Yeah,
but
it's
it
just
also
a good.
probably means something.
It's a good like throwback and reminder of be like, hey, remember her boobies? Also, there's a
giant
scar.
scar there.
Yeah.
Also, she clasps her bra in the front, not in the back. Think about it.
Think about it. Yeah.
So the crew.
What do you think? Why do you think that they have a shot of rain falling in the Transformer right after that? Is that just because like they drew the Transformer at one point, or like throw this shot in there?
We animated it for the last episode. And
yeah, right. Is it just like does it need to be? It's raining. This will be a good shot. Throw the rain on top of the Transformer.
I'm sure.
And we got ourselves a barbecue.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no.
They're cooking, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no allusions to rain in the Bible. That never comes up.
Yeah, there's no allusions between rain and Moses ever.
Yeah, at all.
Curious.
Anyway, let's moving on.
The crew, they're looking at the children are in these like pods, and they're just checking their sync rates. They're just that we get to see that the children, they have jobs essentially. They have to get tests done every week or every couple of days to see where their sync rates are and how they kind of are doing within the LCL and within the fucking pod. I forget the name of it.
I don't remember.
What's it called? What's it called, JJ?
What are we talking about? The entry plug?
Entry plug.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of test.
And right before this, we just found out that Masato got a promotion, but she doesn't look happy about it. Interesting.
Yeah, this episode she flips between Masato and Stern Masato quite a bit. I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, and the kids are talking, and they're kind of like plopping the kids to the different pods.
Yeah,
I mean, only two of them, only Rei and Shinji.
Yeah, they do make a reference. They do their own foreshadowing in this, where Masato is just like, Asuka, do you really want to try to pilot any other Eva other than Unit 2? Like, yeah, you're right. And
you're
then,
right.
Yeah, you're right.
And then it's always weird when you can hear a character's thoughts in this series. Like you do get the Masato. You can hear Masato's thoughts because she's the only one of the characters that knows they're in a TV show. I'm sorry, but
yeah, she's one of the only characters we ever hear directly from her.
Yeah, and she's like, she's just like, yeah, well, there's a reason why these two can only swap anyways. So
and then before we move on, but the last thing I want to bring it up, Zach, you already mentioned it once, but the line, it's a throwaway line from a throwaway character. Well, it's not a throwaway line because there's no throwaway lines. But it's a line from a throwaway character, which is Riska was talking about the harmonics and his sync rate, Shinji, that is, as they're doing these tests. And the dude with the hat is like, it's like he was born to pilot the Eva. It sticks out so insanely strongly from in this scene, especially on a rewatch. That was a write down.
Just like a line that Asuka said in the previous episode to Shinji.
About crawling back into your mother's womb.
Yeah,
she's like, why should you go crawl back into your mother's womb?
Yeah. Shinji really having a lot of people talking about his birth. It's weird.
It is weird that they keep doing that.
It also comes with the territory of being the son of the guy who's saving the universe.
No, that's true.
And then Asuka and Shinji are like kind of fighting, and I forget who tells it to Shinji, but he's like, Asuka's always angry because you always think about what other people think.
Yeah.
And Shinji, he can't really do anything about that. He's just like, I I was gonna say something that's a
It's
spoiler.
because he's constantly apologizing. That's what the argument's about. He's always saying, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, he's all about self-denial.
Yeah, intrapunitive, as she calls him.
Intropunitive. Also a thing within the Christianity religion. It's all about self-denial, which is Shinji's thing. Curious.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Shinji
They have a
constantly
party.
looking for his floggings.
He is literally constantly looking to be flogged. Anyways, they have a party for Misato to celebrate her getting promotion. Yay, it's so fun. And
everybody's so happy about it.
Everybody's so happy about it. Shinji's he's actually trying here. He's trying to engage with people. He's like asking Misato, like, yo, do you actually like your job? Like, are you like?
And what's interesting is that like Misato, because she's so reserved in this scene, because she is personally reflecting on her promotion and what it means and everything the rest of the world, is we see her like it seems to me that we are being shown that she understands Shinji extremely well here, because and how close she is with him emotionally, because she literally asked him, do you still find having these types of do you still find it hard to be in these types of situations surrounded by people? And he's like, yeah, I don't like it. It's like, I don't like being around people that are really loud. And obviously we're talking about his trauma, about being abandoned by his father, and not having his mother. So, but anyway, it wasn't necessarily that moment that we learn about Shinji. We already know that Shinji is clearly antisocial and has significant issues connecting with people. And but what's more interesting to me is the fact of what we're shown about what Misato knows about him, and like how we're given that insight into her understanding of him.
Yep. And her place within the story and her importance is kind of driven home here. Very intriguing to me. And then we have a hard cut South Pole Gendo.
The imagery and the imagery and the dialogue at the South Pole is fucking crazy. Especially in conjunction with dialogue that's coming up in some of the other episodes shortly after this.
Even in this episode where they're like, this is a divine punishment created. this divine punishment created the Sea of the Dead. And then Gendo's like, it's a pristine world, not tainted by original sin.
All right, man.
Just like casually dropping these like super like weird niche esoteric like Christian thing like out of nowhere.
So I forget which character calls it. They call it the Dead Sea.
This is like a little lackey. I forget his name.
Oh, fuck.
It's like
God, who's the vice cap? I can't remember his name.
Fuyutsuki, right? That's his.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
But the imagery with calling it the Dead Sea, I did not realize the first time I watched it, because I'm a dum that the white spires in these shots are pillars of salt. And my dumb brain was like, "Oh, they're at the South Pole. Those are pillars of ice, and they just look funny."
No. Do you know what happened to people who looked at God? They turned to salt.
Yes. It's again, we've done a lot of Wikipedia reading on this specific rewatch endeavor, but what I'm talking about is the first time I saw it.
Yeah,
like they're what do you mean? Of course it's ice. They were at the South Pole.
Yeah.
Nope. There's a reason why nature is uninhabitable there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's because there's salt everywhere.
Yeah. So I mean, there is a we could. I'm sure that too. If Anna was going to give another interview, he'd say like, well, the poles melted, and so it became extremely saline, and that's why there's salt.
Salt everywhere.
There's no other meaning to it whatsoever. It's just because they got
Not fooling me, buddy.
Yeah.
Or
It
maybe
looks
like all the
cool.
water evaporated and
Yeah.
it needed pillars of salt because of the explosion.
Yeah. It's coral.
And then Gendo's lackey, unnamed man, he says, I prefer a world inhabited by men, even if they are sinful.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Very interesting here. We are learning so much here.
This episode goes so crazy in the first half, man. There's some ridiculous dialogue being happened.
This is why, because I came up with the Moses thing. I'm like, I think I'm insane, and then I kept watching. Then I'm just like, no, I'm not insane. This is crazy. Anyways, a new angel starts attacking. It's crying into the ocean.
Yeah,
it's destroying
the biggest
lives.
angel they've ever
Yeah, it's gigantic. It literally flays pieces of itself off, deploys an AT field on all of those pieces, and causes giant impacts.
And they're assuming
not second impacts, just like explosions.
Yeah, and they're assuming it's doing that to pinpoint its final approach.
And they're like, I sure hope it's going to Tokyo 3. It's like, I bet you're right.
Yeah. This one, like, you have like all of the other people, like the last couple of episodes, you have like outside sources, like really be like, why is it always Japan? Why is it always? Of course, it's going to Japan. Why is it going to Japan? I don't understand.
And then,
well, I was going to say one lesson before we move on is we learned that it deploys the AT field to specifically disrupt electronic signals.
Yeah.
Before, because they're literally looking at it, and then boom, something happens.
Yeah.
And Risco goes, "Oh, that's a novel way to use an AT field."
Again, at this point, we still only know it's called an AT field. There's
unless keen viewers. Okay, so actually, I forgot to mention this when we were doing the intro portion, which is the OP animation of Neon Genesis is fucking insane. It is crazy. Aside from the fact that it is a fucking like bop and a half, which actually I forgot I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna say, oh, my first notes for episode 11, bop of an intro. But anyway, it's crazy the information that is available. Like, could you imagine what it would have been like in 1995 to like have a VCR and tape this show and then like sit at your VCR and like start and stop and
frame
look at
by framing it,
and look at the still images of the intro to Ava, because it's the amount of information that is in there is fucking insane. It's crazy, including
like
the full name of an AT field. It's there. I checked it. I looked at it.
It says it there. It is loaded with stuff that they don't tell you until the second half of the TV series,
way later,
which is like absurd. It compounds on the fact that they keep saying that all of this is just.
I think that they scrapped some bad ideas and remade some certain things for sure.
Definitely,
but there's no way that I think there was a start.
Yeah.
There was an end, and there were a few key moments scattered in between of like, this part has to happen to Shinji, this part has to happen to Rei, this part has to happen to Gendo, and then they were like, well, about halfway through, this part sucks, and we're going to redo it.
And they like to tell us that didn't happen. They like to tell us that didn't happen.
Yeah, you don't include the fucking Sephiroth in the opening intro of this TV
You
series,
do
and then
not.
have
It's
it
fucking
be a
crazy.
constantly reoccurring theme from beginning to the bitter end decades later.
Anyway,
And then, fellas,
Fellas,
we get to hear the Magi system says to evacuate. Japan, everyone get into your bunkers. Our ears perk up. Magi system. Wait, I've never heard about this before. What is this thing? And they're like, have it tabulate the survival rate. And then you're like, huh? Then
we unanimously, I think we've heard that they did a 2-3 vote one time before, and we know that they provided like some statistical estimations of probabilities for success of a specific idea. But
Yep.
here's like, yeah, they unanimously recommend to evacuate.
And then they tabulate, and they're like, "Yo, listen, you got a 0.00001% chance of
Yeah,
living."
this another thing that I wanted, like, I didn't want to derail us too much on, but the absurdity of Evangelion in its entire premise of a bunch of adults putting an absurd amount of faith into 14-year-old children, and doing it not just once but then repeatedly, is fucking insane. And then you've got this Magi as a fulcrum system, which is like almost like the adults in the room, and it still says these are not such good ideas, and they still do them.
I don't know,
You know,
man. That's
I listen,
It's,
and I know what our two other esteemed hosts would like to tell everybody
Yeah.
here about it, and
Yeah.
that will come in the
that will
rebuild
come
movies.
way,
But
yeah.
it's these moments are the moments where I sit and I go,
hmm.
Yeah, inexplicably, we have this moment of Misato has an idea that out of nowhere, just she has her big plan is you three are gonna catch it. And you are going to catch it. That's just how it is. What if we don't?
like,
But you
there's
are.
there's no not catching it.
Yeah, there's no not catching it. You're gonna catch it, and
And
there isn't a moment where anybody acts worried about it. There isn't
nope.
even after the fact. So they do it, and the kids are like, listen, if we go when we finish this, we'll take you out for a steak dinner, and the kids are like, all right, yeah.
And right before that actually is, I think, a really
I hope you have it written down, as I have it written down as well. Taylor, let's see what you say.
So Asuka and her are fighting about it, and Asuka's like, this plan sucks, and Misato basically goes, it's like, yeah, it kind of does. And this is a Misato-ism to me, because she keeps doing it, and I believe, if I recall, continues to do it after this. It's like, well, you can refuse it if you want.
Yeah.
And she's done this to Shinji multiple times. It is a significant entry into the way that she manipulates him emotionally, and I just don't think that we've ever seen her do it to like the group of them. She's only done it to Shinji before this, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up that she says it. I don't know, that's what I wrote down. What you had something different? I guess. What do you have?
Are you there,
Zach? Zach?
Oh no!
No!
You've lost Zach.
No!
He's dead. The angel got him.
He was. I think he was about to look up his exact quote.
Yeah. I do like in the. Zach, you're moving again. Are you there? Zach? Are you dead? I don't know what the. Oh,
Okay,
here we go.
there he
All right,
goes.
we'll let him come back in. I do like after she offers them the steak dinner and she walks away. The kids immediately are just like,
Well,
like they saw through her bullshit. They're
well,
like,
yeah,
God,
no,
so
well,
lame.
it's a really interesting thing
Yeah,
because it's like, well, I mean, yeah, they talk about,
yeah,
like, well, this fucking sucks.
yeah,
It's like, but what choice do we have, kind of moment.
yeah,
But then on top of it, they're like, she can't afford a steak dinner. Well, actually,
yeah,
before they even talk about how poor she
yeah,
is,
yeah,
um, talk about like, why do these people always like, why do grown-ups always think that we want a steak dinner?
yeah, yeah,
And what this is another Wikipedia moment for me, which was the allegory of the second generation or the second impact generation
yeah.
being analogous to the post World War II generation
Mm-hmm.
of wartime conservation
Yeah,
of resources,
yeah,
and that's like,
yeah.
post World War
That's
II,
post
like
World War
people were
II. A
like, oh my
steak
god, a steak
dinner
dinner,
would be.
it's like,
Yeah,
holy shit, this is crazy. And she's of that analogous generation of,
yeah,
the second impact happens, resources are ravished, the world is thrown askew,
yeah,
and that is what she, in her mind, is viable. And then these are basically,
yeah,
the three children are essentially baby boomers, right?
yeah,
Of the far future, and they they they're like, this sucks, but at
yeah.
least we're making Misato feel better about it. Welcome back, Zach.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
so
What
what I
was your
was gonna say
yeah?
is, let me scroll back. Where is it at? Let's see here. So Shinji asked Misato, "What are our chances?" Misato says,
Oh, heaven only knows.
"I have no idea. Heaven only knows."
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
Just
God's in his
throwing it.
heaven. All is right with the world, man.
God's in his heaven, all is right in his world. It's almost like these characters are set on a divine path, and the only thing that can stop them is Lucifer himself, who might be working amongst them, and we don't know.
We don't know. Who
Question mark.
knows? Yeah. Anyways, me and Taylor were just talking about how the Misato is an allusion to post World War II Japanese people who would think that a steak dinner is a luxury, and
Yeah.
that the third children are just the baby boomers of this future generation.
Also, hey, very similar to the actual historical context of Moses.
Yes.
Curious.
Again, crazy.
Anyways,
And then we see Ray say, "I don't like meat," and then we move on to
Yeah.
the kids get philosophical.
Yeah.
They start talking about why. Why are we doing the thing that we do? Why are we piloting this thing? And Asuka says, I pilot the Ava to be seen.
yeah.
Shinji goes, oh.
Mm.
And we know Rei does it for her connection to humanity. It's just like they touch on this
Curious,
later on.
just random.
Yeah. They touch on this later on where they're like, Ray's just kind of like an old lady.
Yeah.
But that's kind of also like your connection with humanity. What, you're 14.
Is this the one where? No, I think it's the next episode where Shinji brings up the hand washing thing.
Yeah, that's the recap episode. Yeah. Then we get the iconic "Don't run away, don't run away, don't run away," and then the Avas are off to the races. And they start fucking high jumping over shit. And it's so cool, guys. The Avas long jumping over those electrical lines, dude.
The fucking the between the vault jump. What was one of the other ones? There was actually a 6-shot even before that when they talk about again the Magi. The Magi predicted that it's going to be in this, and it's the entirety of Tokyo 3, and it's this huge the computer generated image, and it's just every character's silhouette all 100% blackened in front of it, and it's so fucking cool looking.
Dude, it's crazy. It's like anime creators just kind of lost the sauce after a certain point.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I mean, Anno, even in this day and age with the 3D that he uses in the rebuilds, he still has the fucking sauce. I don't know. He just kind of
the coloring and juxtaposition of foreground and background is something that he continues.
That's something that I've always said about animation in general. I think I even mentioned it on the last episode, where going
it's
from
flat.
Once everything went computer generated, even flat 2D animation, it all just went flat. Everything's just kind of on the same plane. For like, it doesn't matter who you are.
You know what this oddly reminds me of? It reminds me of the way that Team Cherry generates 2D out of the 3D overlayment for Hollow Knight and Silk Song.
Yeah.
They recreate what Anno does similarly here, which is the cells, transposing on top of each other. That's what they do for their games, is that they are effectively layered 2D images that parallax in front of one another. And it takes a lot more effort because you have to draw more shit instead of creating a static image that just kind of pans across. But like, if you do it well enough and you're good, I don't know. I guess I'd probably say that most studios just like, it's that meme of like, they can't do it anymore. Nobody knows how. It's literally that meme. It's like they used to know they can't do it anymore, except that they literally can't. They don't. Nobody wants to do it. The cost pay, the payoff isn't there anymore.
No,
I think talking about the doing it. I don't. Who here has seen Blue Gender?
Absolutely.
Zach. So I don't know, but anyway, we're looking at this. I'm watching the scenes. I'm looking at the bright colors, the neons, and kind of the overall darkening atmosphere. And just like Blue Gender is what popped into my head of like another show that captured some of the coloring. Anyway, we're here. We got to finish up episode 12. We're going to be here forever.
Yeah.
Then they get up to the angel. Shinji holds it. He fights it with his AT field.
God, it was so fucking cool. He catches it.
Yeah.
They catch it, and then
0.000000001% chance of him catching it, and he caught it. It's crazy.
And then Ray comes in and rips open the AT field. Then Asuka stabs it in his fucking eye. And then it fucking kablooey.
You know what was really cool? They during this scene, and only because I just rewatched it like literally just now. It's a 3-part scene when the Avas move out. Ava 01 jumps, and then it's 02's foot lands, and then 2 jumps over the power lines, and then it's 00's foot that drops, and it's like this 3-part segment where they just, I don't know, that's just crazy.
It's sauce, man.
That's just crazy.
It's saucy. They were stunting on that.
They really were. But anyway, the 3 units coming together to do the 3-part AT field, fucking sick. Everything,
and then kablooey.
And then kablooey. You know what's interesting? Why do some of them go kablooey and other ones don't go kablooey?
I think some of them might just want to kill people.
Yeah.
Some
of them have ulterior motives, and some of them don't.
Okay.
Some of them are setting up for the next one. Like
that's true.
Like, it seems weird that, you have this one using its AT field for to disrupt electronics, and then the next episode is all about electronics. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's once you start thinking about it, Taylor, it's like, hey, wait a second.
Anyway, the only thing that we skipped on was the fact that we learn about Misato's past. She talks about it specifically. One of her reasons for joining Nerve is what we see in the opening of the episode. Her dad dies. We learn about her feelings towards her dad. and that she resented him when she was young, but he sacrificed himself to save her, and now she wants to fuck up the angels.
Now she wants to kill the angels. And yeah, Ava Unit 1 takes excessive damage, and Gendo calls in. He's like, and they're scared because Unit 1's fucked up, and he's like, you know what? You did a good job, Misato, and also good work, Shinji.
Called him by his name too.
Called him by his name, and then Shinji says, you know what? I think I like piloting the Ava because my dad says nice things to me.
Yeah.
And Asuka calls him stupid. She's like, "You're stupid." I'm like, whatever.
You're such a dipshit. That's why I hate you.
Meanwhile, Misato during that scene is literally, she has started to eat ramen and then is sitting there like completely still. She hangs on his words for this.
Your eyes, the screen, realize. Episode 13.
Realize.
Episode 13, title drop. JJ.
It is the title of titles, my friend. It is Lilliputian Hitcher.
It's time. It's time for the full pager.
The reason Taylor is here, Zach said that he's going to be on the.
This episode is so fucking like this. This could be its own movie. It's there is so much other anime in this episode. There's so much other fiction in this episode.
There's a lot of Bible too.
There's a bunch. I mean, I didn't focus on the Bible. I have notes instead on of several lines regarding protein wall 87.
Dude, no. So here's my thing.
You should see the rabbit hole I went down on protein 87.
Dude, so like I was just sitting here because I completely forgot. I was just sitting there watching, and then they're like protein walls. I'm like, protein walls? What the hell are? I was like, huh? And then I was like, wait a second, this is fucking scary.
Really starts putting what's going on at Nerve into perspective.
Before Taylor goes into his thing, I want to say this. The Magi system, there's 3 of them. Balthazar, Melchior, and Caspar.
Yeah.
They're the Magi. The Magi, guess what, boys? They're in the Bible.
Yeah.
No
way. No way.
They're the 3 guys that gave Jesus something when they were born. Like Balthasar gave him myrrh, Melchior gave Jesus gold, Caspar gave him frankincense. They're these kind of the impending. They're kind of the kicking point of the story of Jesus, and also the starting point of this series as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, Taylor,
this episode goes crazy because it is chock full of biological notes almost from the get-go. Literally, I'm on the first 10 seconds of the scene. It's also really rich in like little hint drops that happen in background sound. So these are non-foreground conversations that are referencing biological ideas. And I literally, in this case, I don't know, it honest to God might just be because they thought it sounded really cool. I don't think that they were specifically doing anything with it. The theme of the episode is that there is an angel that is infiltrating, and it is microscopic in nature, right? And so I think what happened here is that it was like, what's microscopic? Bacteria is microscopic. Let's look up a bunch of shit about bacteria. And on top of that, I mean, what do you think? Is it fair to call Issa one of the showrunners at this point? We didn't really talk about the episode 12 onward divide as a fulcrum point of the show yet. But
Yeah,
Now,
there's
this is very much an ESO script, if that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I went Wikipedia on this one, and it was basically like, so Iso was brought. This is Mitsuo Iso, for the record, and so he was brought on for animation purposes, and I mean, he was previously at Ghibli, and so I think that him and Anno probably crossed paths pretty significantly previously. And so he was on staff, and he the way that the Wikipedia reads is really funny. It sounds like he just got bored and just started pitching shit, and Anna was like, he was just like, here's scripts. And this one has his name all over it, according to Wiki. Again, these are all of this Wikipedia entry is based on interviews and specific media that is curated by Gynax, so it's all with a grain of salt because they are unreliable narrators of this information. That being said, it came from somebody's mind. It is a distinct tonal shift. A character which was previously no name, all of a sudden there's a Kohai senpai relationship between this character Maya and Ritsuko, which didn't exist before. Like she was there, they animated her, but now all of a sudden she has a name and she does things, and Ritsuko talks to her. It's like this never happened before. But anyway, in the first 10 seconds, all of a sudden they're talking about that the test subjects are moving to the Sigma unit, and you're like, what the fuck is the Sigma unit? And we can
you don't want to
mention
be a Sigma, buddy.
Yeah, no Sigma. Anyway, so they're coding. And we see for the first time that Risco apparently is also really good at coding. It didn't come up literally at any time before this. She was just always was like the Ava knowing person. What I thought was interesting on this one especially was that they're like in every scene and shot felt really important. There's like really, again, early on in the episode, Masato picks up a cup of coffee and there's scribbles all over the paper that's under it. And I actually tried really hard to freeze frame on what's on the paper. And this is what's crazy. There's nothing there that I like from what I can see. There's nothing of value there, but it's full of writings that seem important. And that's just kind of Evangelion in general, is that type of idea where there's just always shit.
It's always fit.
And it always looks like it has a reason to be there. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's such a powerful piece of media, is because whatever put it there is like there is nothing that does not feel intentional.
Anytime they need to do like their computer matrix,
oh my god,
letters
it's
across
so
the screen,
good.
it's always like the the genetic markers, the ACT.
It's always Gattaca. But anyway, so in this episode they're doing two things. They're doing some dummy Ava testing. So
simulation bodies.
Simulation bodies, yeah. But they don't have heads.
Scary.
They don't have heads.
So scary.
They're really creepy looking. But while they're doing, and by the way, this is a really weird choice that they made here. But while they're doing that testing, they decide that it's time for routine diagnostics on the Magi system. And what that means is that periodically the Magi system, like at least one of the three Magi at any given time, is completely inaccessible. I would personally probably not run those types of tests while the Magi system is down. You could probably just wait the 3 hours that it's going to take. I don't know.
Yeah, you shove your three teenagers naked.
They go to school, man. Do it while they're at school. We see them at school all the time. Don't do it now. Anyway, we see some really cool shots of Central Dogma, kind of like panning down. This like little. Like they've got these little honeycomb pods that everybody's desks are in.
As the Wikipedia had stated, ESO designed this after the Andromeda strain.
So,
which is sick.
So what was actually really interesting is that the first thing, and this I actually did. I swear I had this thought before I read the Wikipedia article, which is that there's a lot of inspiration on Andromeda strain in general.
There's a very Michael Crichton-ass episode.
In Andromeda strain, it's a book about a foreign life form ?
Yeah.
Which comes in and evolves incredibly rapidly.
Yeah.
And to the point where like it, they create a task force that exists to get called upon if it ever returns, and they think it's going to obliterate humanity, and then it hyper evolves, and then it turns out that it just eats plastic. Is basically like what it's, I don't know, or maybe I got that reversed. It starts out by eating plastic, downs a plane. It's a great book. Highly recommend it.
Good movie, great book.
I actually never watched the movie. I've only read the book.
That's good.
But anyway, so we move on. Ritsuko specifically references her mother, kind of in relation to the Magi. You're like, what's up with that? We're curious. What was interesting to me, and this didn't pan out to anything unless somebody can correct me here. So they're in the test bodies.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, how do you guys feel? And Risco's like, my right arm hurts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everyone had a different weird interaction with the test bodies, with the simulation bodies. They all had their own weird complaints about...
I don't know. I thought that the arm thing was...
The arm thing felt very specific, but without seeing a lot of the stuff, because nothing plays out in this episode.
Oh, no, it's the opposite. I can feel my right arm just fine, but everything else feels hazy.
Yeah.
And it's just... And it's like, I don't know. I'm thinking back about when Shinji's arm gets broken in episode 1. I don't know. It's just like it feels, and who knows? Maybe it doesn't mean anything. It just felt it was just so specific.
I mean, I could go into theories, but it would involve a little bit of like without spoilers. But I'll try to think of like they are kind of using these bodies to create an autopilot system for like that's the kind of they're kind of recording the kids basically, and
Gotcha.
it's sort of like a playback thing, so they may feel weird like echoes through their calibration.
That's some rebuild shit right there.
Yeah, so it's just,
yeah, I mean,
like
we get tons of images.
We never ever see the simulation bodies again. This is the only episode.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's because of the occurrences of this episode.
Yeah.
But we keep going. We get tons and tons of shots of the kind of computer UIs on these screens. All of them are really cool, in my opinion. The use of forced perspective to keep some of them unfocused intentionally so that you don't have to animate them, but they still look good, is really keenly done. And then all of a sudden, they have this scanner plotter of, it looks like something is kind of infiltrating within. We see some references. They're talking about clandestine stuff of like, you guys been not cleaning the shit again? From what's his name? Who we I literally looked his name up like 15 minutes ago and I already forgot it again. I can't find it. Anyway, let's see. Neon Genesis Evangelion characters. Fuyutsuki and so he's the one that they're talking to, because Hikari is probably, or Gendo is probably not there again. And he makes some mention. It's like, it's like, we got some shit on Protein Wall 87, and I'm like, okay, all right, hold on.
Like, wait
hold
a minute.
on.
What did
I'm
you
like,
just say
okay,
to me?
protein. First of all, Protein Wall. Why are we talking about protein walls? It's like, funny name for a defense system. Yeah, maybe. Why 87 specifically? Funny number. Who knows? But did you know that Protein 87 is specifically associated with a genome sequence, which is referred to as UNC-87. You can look it up. It's in scientific literature. Now, what's interesting to me about this is that the first time it was mentioned in scientific literature is 1994. It's super unlike, I mean, I don't know, Miso Iso super into genomics in that time frame? Maybe. It was right around the time that I think that he went to Shanghai to work on the Final Fantasy Crystal, like Final Fantasy Chronicles anime that he did. Out of, and apparently he was really into biomedical and biology during that time. I don't know, but because it's the only thing that like led me anywhere there in regards to proteins and number 87 and something that was also developed like in the 90s and identified because gene sequencing was really really popular in the early 90s because we had figured out how to do it. One of the things that we focused on was flatworms, because flatworms had relatively simple genomes. And so, but on top of that, flatworms have really important things like muscle tissue, right? And so UNC 87 is specifically a genome that we had not previously identified associated with thin filament smooth muscles. And so we knew about smooth muscle protein genetic sequences elsewhere, but we didn't know about this one. So this was a brand new expression of thin filament smooth muscle fibers, and they tested it by mutating it and basically modifying the proteins and causing paralysis by essentially mutating that gene. And I found that to be interesting in the context of the episode, because what happens is that protein wall 87 becomes the entry point for what turns out to be this microbial angel.
So, I just thought about it, but Ritsuko and her Ritsuko and her mother, their connection. I don't want to say it before we get to it, but it attacking this specific protein wall could affect Ritsuko's arm. It could make it hurt, right? Just like that connection with her and her mom. No, because isn't it Ritsuko that says that her arm?
No,
that was Asuka in the simulation simulations. But at the same time, it makes it in there, but it wasn't in there quite yet. I think this is a loose connection at best. It probably is just a coincidence. Protein wall is obviously intentional. Protein walls are haha proteins. It's biological. These are biological things. And we're going to they just come up with funny names for the defense systems that they use here. But anyway, I went down that rabbit hole for 25 minutes trying to find out, and specifically about when UNC 87 was first derived as a specific genome sequence. And I was like, I have to know if it came before or after this was made. And it turns out it was before, so it's not impossible.
Then later on, we get the brain bow box mention. I hope you.
Yeah, so I actually have a specific list of biological references that I'll do at the very end. I have I cannot. Is that a thing? Iocto? Does that ring a bell? I wrote down what is Iocto. No. Okay. I can't tell if this is a handwriting issue or not. It's probably a handwriting issue, unfortunately. So I'll have to do a script of find on what I could have been writing about. It happened sometime before the Pribnow box is mentioned, but after the protein wall. So, and we'll keep talking about the episode. So the corrosion, it turns out that the corrosion, I don't know, man, it's moving on its own. They send in fucking water robots because it's in the water. It's in tube number 6, and they're waiting. And it turns out nothing happens in tube 6. And everybody's like, the fuck are we? Huh? Everybody's just staring. There's a lot of scenes where they're just like, everybody's staring. And then Ray, boom, hands against the wall. Because it turns out that it wasn't after whatever that tube was. It was after the Ava units, and then it burst through the pipe. But
they specifically mention it takes over its pituitary system.
Yeah,
the pituitary system, which is for some reason exists in the Tedless bodies, because I don't know, they kind of like, this one is like, I think, just a mistake. They wave it away. Pituitary gland is in your brain. It controls hormone. It's hormones, right?
Sure.
Pituitary gland. Master gland controls endocrine system, essential hormones. Yeah, okay. I always have the fact. Unfortunately, I like every year that I get further away from my time in college. I'm like, I have to Google it even more than I ever had to.
In this time frame, we have that shot of Gendo where he's like, the camera's like over here, and it's just like, it's a different animation style. It looks like how modern anime does things with like the brown lines instead of like black lines, for like the outline of like people's like bodies and stuff. It's very like, it's really beautifully animated, and they keep using it.
The one from the side on his profile.
Yeah. It looks so different than anything else. It really like stood out to me. And then they're like, yeah, the sensors are faulty. Tell the government the sensors are fucked up.
Yeah.
And then so it gets into the fake bodies, and then Pribno box comes up. It's like, it's trying to get to the Pribno box. We gotta seal it. And I forget what the Pribno box actually is in Evangelion. I focus too much on what it is in actual science. Pribno box. Evangelion. The testing, it's the actual testing facility. Oh, okay. It's where the Avas are, like, it's where the false bodies are.
Yeah.
And yeah, contamination alarm has been issued for the Central Sigma unit. So we'll take a quick moment. So for some of our specific biological ideas that we come up with here. So a Sigma unit is a specific reference to DNA. It's what allows for the initiation of transcription in bacteria. So transcription is the process of creating proteins out of DNA or RNA. So your Sigma unit is a specific portion which allows for that transcription to start, right? It doesn't actually do the transcription, it's what allows for it. And Pribno box is a DNA promoter for bacteria. Promoter is basically what allows for the Sigma unit to exist. And so all of these things are in like tangentially related. They don't relate in the same, like it's not analogous. Like what they do in biology is not what they do in Evangelion, but they all just happen to exist at the same time. It's layered on so thick, so fast. Again, how far am I? I mean, we're now 9.5 minutes in, but that's minus 1 minute and 30 seconds of intro. So we've got 8 minutes in, and I've spent 18 minutes talking about it. It's crazy. Anyway, so they eject the pilots, or they manage to eject the pilots. They send and they're gone. We don't see them again until the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. So the rest of the time we enter what I found to be very much Ghost in the Shell-ish moments of the show. It felt very Ghost in the Shell inspired, like throughout on top of the other sci-fi which inspirations. There we go. We see a really cool moment where Kaji jumps out of a mysterious box. We don't know what he was doing. He's out of there, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, time to go!" And he jumps over, and we don't see him again, I think, for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Oh, that's the angel, huh?
It was funny because I wrote down what bro up to, and I forgot. I didn't put any context for what that was. I literally, if I hadn't seen it again just now, I never would have remembered. But anyway, so the cool moment where they're trying to contain the angel that's now spreading, and it's like, hey, it's not going anywhere where there's a lot of oxygen. And then they're like, okay, quick, flood it with oxygen. So they start pumping oxygen into the water, and it works. It's like for a second, they're like, "Oh, we got it," and then boom, it goes everywhere where there's oxygen, and they have the light bulb moment of, "Okay, it's evolving really fast." What happens is that it infiltrates the entirety of the fake Evas, and what it does is that it uses the electronics that are in the Evas, and it turns them into a giant mainframe. Basically turns it into a giant computer, and then it becomes the angel, a giant supercomputer itself. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh fuck, and then it starts hacking the Magi. So we're in the Magi now. I forget which one it starts with. Does it start with Melchior?
Yeah, it's Melchior, then Balthazar, and then Caspar's the last one.
And so what we then have is a really, really fast, like mad dash. We learn about Risco, we learn about the Magi, and she comes up with the idea. It's very much like a weird flip from episode 12 where Masato was doing the long shot plan in episode 12, and now it's Risco's turn. And so she's like, okay, well, we have exactly 1 hour, and I think that I know that I can do it in exactly 1 hour. And her idea is that she's going to feed it information to force its evolution to then coexist with the Magi. And it's a fucking insane plan. We see some really cool shots of it taking over the Magi system. They're throwing out words like firewalls and dummy interfaces, and you're like, it doesn't make any fucking sense because it's a biological being existing as a supercomputer. You could use whatever words you want, but it's all the images again are really cool. I don't know, the retrofuturism of their computer interfaces are amazing. I don't know, Ava does it incredibly well. It's like, because there are so many analogs to how somebody would create a dashboard today, and it would look exactly like this. It's just that everything is really much more complicated on the back end. But at the end of the day, the type of dashboard that you would make is simple. It's like, is this on or is it off? Is this on or is it off? And you just have 80 bars, and that's what it does. Anyway, so it takes over Melchior, and it immediately says, it suggests a self-destruct sequence, and is rejected by the other two Magi. A little bit of time, and all of a sudden Risco says, change logic mode, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean? We don't know, but this is the beauty of this type of storytelling, is that you don't have to know. And Zach, you mentioned this on one of the other episodes, is that you don't need to know. You just need to know that it makes sense, and it does make sense. What we already established, that it evolves really rapidly. When you put something in between it, it has to adapt. So she says, change the logic mode, make it 15 seconds, and we've all now we understand, because of the evolutionary aspect of it, it has to figure out how to adapt to this. There's no particular scientific reason why, or IT reason why, at least that I can think of. It just, for whatever reason. Anyway, so she says it buys him a few hours.
It's like Counter-Strike, where the tick rate's lower, so there's a lot.
Tick rate's slower. Tick rate's lower. No, my grenades don't work. I can't. Oh. Anyway, so they come up. This is when they come up with the plan. They talk about forced evolution. And this
stuff.
This scene was really interesting. This is like the only non-biological note that I have on this whole episode, where Gendo says that the ultimate end of evolution is death, and everybody just goes, "Yeah." But back to our problem, and you're like, and I'm like, "What?" Nobody says anything about it. Everybody just goes like, "Yeah, that is true." But what are we
Damn,
going to do
dog,
about
you're
the
right.
angel?
Anyways.
I'm like, what? Huh? That was crazy. That was a crazy moment where everybody's just like, we just skip it.
It's just one of those moments where your boss just says something crazy and you're just like, you can't really say anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to explain it, but it's like we have bigger fish to fry.
We'll put a pin in this one, Gendo. We'll be back in a minute. We'll circle back around.
Well, it's also kind of informative of him,
yes,
and kind of his plans. It's like it makes you go.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the bigger deal, is that it makes you think of like, why bro saying that? Why are you talking about that kind of stuff? And so then Masato proposes that they destroy the Magi because it's too dangerous at this point. Briscoe says, fuck you. And then Masato tries to pull rank and says like, okay, well, I'm the chief operations officer. I specifically demand that you do it. And she says, and we see very kind of like Japanese ethos moment of like, no, it's my negligence that caused this. I will be the one to deal with it. And Masato's like, okay. And
Masato moment. Hashtag Masato moment.
Hashtag Masato moment agrees to it. So then we see the coding. We get a coding montage. They pull up the Magi out of the ground or the floor in Central Dogma. It's just a bunch of tubes. And but then there's a secret hatch. Inside the secret hatch is a bunch of Post-it notes. Inside the Post-it notes, we see a little bit more of the Maya interaction. She's like, "Oh my god, this is something about the C code or something," and you're like, "That doesn't mean anything."
Now, yeah,
it's like, well, we can use this, and Risco like gives her like a sly smile, and it's like, "Yep."
My mother left these behind for me.
Yeah, and so we find out that this is clearly her mother that made it. And when she goes further in, we see this cool scene. She pulls out an angle grinder and has to cut open the box. And this was the very Ghost in the Shell moment. For anybody that's seen Ghost in the Shell, I think that anybody would agree.
Yeah,
it looks like a brain inside the metal can. We find out that it uses, or that the Magi were basically built at a very similar technology as what the Evas use. Risco called it the prototype of it. We find out that it's basically 3 different facets of her mother's personality uploaded into 3 different supercomputers, which are basically physically made brains running the computers.
The scientist, the mother, the woman.
And it's Casper is the final holdout, which we find out is the woman portion of the Magi, and
women, am I right?
And she just wouldn't give up.
And she held on to her last. She held on to her last breath, and then the episode ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a great episode. It goes a mile a minute the whole time. Like there's no room to slow down. There's no room to breathe. Yeah. They even managed to fit in like the Kaji storyline in there. It's fucking crazy.
The kids have nothing to do with any moment.
Yeah, the kids don't do anything. They shut up, and Asuka goes, what am I gonna do? I'm naked.
Yeah, it's the only angel that doesn't get defeated by an Eva, basically.
Yep.
It doesn't get defeated at all.
Yeah, I mean.
So so this is what's fascinating, is that clearly we don't actually have to kill. So this is actually interesting. we don't have to beat the angels. We don't even have to kill them.
Yeah.
Obviously, because this one now just exists and is actually inside the Magi.
Maybe there are others amongst us.
Shut up. Let's see. What was the other thing? The other one I want to mention. Two other things that they come up. Polysomes is specifically name dropped in here. Polysomes are mRNA that works with ribosomes. They create polypeptides, which are basically long strings of proteins. But central dogma, which we mention a lot.
We're about to mention it again, buddy.
Yeah, and it won't be the last time. But central dogma itself is primarily a biological theorem, I guess is the way that I would describe it. It was done by Francis Crick Watson of DNA fame, which was the proposition of the sequencing of DNA to RNA to proteins, and the fact that proteins cannot then in turn go the other way. Now, it's not quite that simple, and we've learned a lot in the past 70 years since Watson and Crick, but that's what the central dogma of molecular biology is, and the shortest possible way that I can mention it here. Anyway, yeah, episode 13 went crazy.
And Dogma, also a movie by Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith about God.
Yeah, definitely no religious connotations with the phrase dogma at all.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that to specifically pick something that has the biological reference as well as the theological is always very interesting.
Episode 14.
Yeah, it's I talked enough. Luckily, my notes on all of the other episodes are a lot shorter.
Recap. We got a recap for like 8 minutes.
Yeah,
but we get an interesting. So there's some characters popping in talking about things that happen. So we get to like hear about Toji, kind of talk about his sister and all that stuff. But then we get to hear from what's his name, the otaku military boy. I forget his name.
Kensuke.
Where he's like, yeah, Izuhara. He's like, Ray has a weird attitude, almost like she's transitory, and she's okay with it, despite being 14. So we get to hear all these things about these characters, and then it's like, why are we watching this? And then it's like, oh, it's a PowerPoint for the stockholders, essentially. So Seilei's there, and they're like, Gendo.
Is it Seilei?
Yeah.
Especially with the new dub, they actually pronounce it like 3 different ways. Like
I always pronounce it seal in my head.
Because
It's
some people
Seilei.
pronounce it seal, some people pronounce it Zele, and some people pronounce it Seilei. So sometimes it's a especially with the new dub, it's a little inconsistent.
Yeah, and they're like, blah 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 blah, and then Gendo's like, well, the Dead Sea Scrolls, blah blah blah.
Yeah, dude, I got a whiplash where all of a sudden, I'm like, I was doing the dishes watching episode 14, and so like my brain turned off for almost 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like we're talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls, and we're everything's going exactly according to the Dead Sea Scrolls. What's the fucking problem? And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yep. The Dead Sea Scrolls. They're a collection of over 900 ancient Jewish manuscripts. There are some very interesting things within the Dead Sea Scrolls. And you know what? They might have spoilers for Evangelion. Anyways, Gendo goes, everything will occur according to Sele's plan scenario.
And then everybody, and actually they were they were grilling him about
For fucking
what
up.
happened in the last episode, where like there was an angel inside Nerve HQ, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And what's interesting is that he comes back and it's like, why does Seal know about the angel inside HQ? So there's also
He's
an
a
additional
mole.
there's an additional allusion to being a some leaking of information there.
Yeah, which we've established multiple times before.
Mhm.
They're like, there's someone's leaking something.
Right.
And then we get Ray. She's talking. We get a nice little monologue because they're plopping the children inside of other units. They're just testing how they do within the other ones. Ray gets to go inside Unit 1, and she starts talking.
Oh
She
man,
says,
does she talking?
I wrote down as much as I could. She says, Ava, the work of man. What is man? Was it God that created him? Or did man create man? Inside me, I have life and heart. The heart. Entry plugs, the seat of the soul. Who is this me? Who am I? What am I? What am I? What am I? I am myself. This object is myself. This shape that forms myself, the me that can be seen, but I feel like I'm not who I am. It's strange. I feel my body is melting away. I no longer recognize myself. I'm losing my shape. I feel the presence of someone else. Is someone there? And she's looking at you while you're watching this. And then we get a weird zoom in on Unit 1's eye as at the end of this. Scary. And yeah, my note here, Ray just being normal in Unit 1. She says it smells like Shinji.
You get that really good shot of Ray, just like the perfect sci-fi shot of just like an infinite loop of rays.
Yeah, infinite loop of Ray, layers upon layers, things
You know what's funny?
laying exactly upon each other.
Is that in this sequence she's talking about all the people that she knows, almost like that they're vestiges inside the memory of Unit 1. And there's like two people that she doesn't call out by name. It's the people that are friends with Shinji and Asuka.
Yeah.
She calls him Unit 2's pilot. She doesn't call her Asuka, which I found interesting.
Interesting.
They're just not involved in their little game here. Then we learn Unit 1 that Unit 2 is not compatible with the other ones, so Asuka's just like supposedly I get to chill. Shinji goes into Unit 0 and he's like, it smells like Ayanami in here. And then Asuka's like, what do you mean it smells like her? You're a pervert.
You're a pervert. Except that's juxtaposed exactly against Ray does her whole fucking monologue, and then it's like, so Ray, what do you think? It smells like Shinji.
It doesn't bat an eye at that, but once she says it smells like Ray, she's like, oh, weirdo.
Yeah. And then
they say that the synchronization rate's almost the same as Unit 0. Curious.
Synchronization rate is perfect. Then Asuka has an amazing quote. She says, "Oh, Shinji Winji, you want to call your mom? Why don't you crawl back in the womb?"
Yeah.
And then
did you guys catch when they're talking about the harmonics and stuff, and Misato strongly side eyes Ritsuko during that?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I wasn't, and again, just because I haven't gone all the way through again, I know that there are certain plot elements regarding Ritsuko's character as well as Misato's character in relation to Nerve, but I'd heard her suspicion towards this conversation stood out to me.
Yeah, there are very small moments right now where Misato is becoming more kind of contextually aware that Nerve is doing weird shit.
Yeah, and maybe this was just bearing the lead for the end of the episode.
Yeah, but also like earlier, like in the last batch of episodes where Ritsuko is talking about the synchronization rate with Asuka and Shinji, and Misato's just like, man, it's just adrenaline, whatever. She's constantly blowing off the synchronization stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
she doesn't want to accept the truth.
yes.
As per her divine right, as we might say. So yeah, Shinji is in Unit 1. He starts like seeing into Rei essentially.
Yeah.
And then the Ava starts fighting back, just like how it did in a couple episodes ago. Rei 1 or Rei 2, one of those. It starts fighting back. Shinji gets fucked up, wakes up in a hospital. Our typical
Says the line.
I hate the ceiling. But
Well,
then
he said, "Yeah, but it's a familiar ceiling.
It's a familiar ceiling." And then Asuka says she's mad at him because he's not aware of the state of affairs. She's just like, he's not like, what? He's not caught up, like, bro. Then hard cut. The Atom Project. Ray's gone.
Yeah.
And Ray is carrying the Lance of Longinus or Longinus.
Yeah, depending on what dub and character is pronouncing it.
Ray is carrying out the work of the Atom Project.
Yeah.
End of episode.
There is a very important line that got kind of glanced over a minute here during the Ava Unit 0 freakout. That the unit is attacking the wall where Ray is standing behind, and
Ray doesn't move.
And Ritsuko is like, was it trying to kill her?
No, Ritsuko says, I'm pretty sure it was trying to kill me.
Yeah. No, I think it was her.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I've got you.
No, I think it's Ritsuko. She's like, yeah, I think it's trying to kill me.
Yeah, because because everybody's like, was it trying to go after Ray because Ray's the pilot?
Yeah.
And then Ritsuko, like, to herself, she does not say this to somebody else.
Yeah.
She's like, no, pretty sure that was for me.
Yeah.
And then Longinus is the name of the Roman soldier that stabbed Jesus when he was on the cross.
Yep.
This is one of those like when people. This is one of those when people say like they just threw in cool shit. I think this is one of the cool things that they said. This is cool, whatever.
Yeah,
I think this is specifically the one I'm like, yeah. It's just whatever. It's just a
they had a cool MacGuffin that they could create using some significant religious symbology, and they kind of ran with this one because it doesn't really play into any of the other religious stuff too much. A little bit, but we'll get to it.
It plays into it in a different way. It's not. Then episode 15, cold open. Every project is interlinked, Gendo says. Sele, they need to chill. Every project is going to work. Chill out, bro.
The Dead Sea Scrolls say so. It's fine.
But I saw the end of episode 14, you know, when they're playing Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get this sweet shot, everything's in blue, of Gendo's office, which has the fucking map, the Sephiroth math, by the way, on the ceiling. What's the one on the bottom on his floor? You guys remember?
Oh yeah,
I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, he has like, you got a little bit of God. Let's just move on.
It was just crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, the ending scene of Unit 0 walking with the spirit is so fucking crazy.
Because you also expect the next episode to open with that. Yeah.
And they just fucking don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway.
we end on the Atom Project, and then Gendo opens. He's like, every project is interlinked. So then
Yeah.
it kind of comes together. You're like, okay, so all this is
Yeah, what are we talking about? The whole thing isn't even. It's less than 2% behind. Or like we're all within 2%. We're doing
Yeah.
great.
like we're doing great.
Yeah.
This is the episode where we get to learn about Kaji a little bit, not a little bit, a lot of bit.
Lot.
Significantly, yeah.
We get to learn about the Marduk Institute.
The Marduk
Yeah.
Institute, yeah.
Fellas, you know,
We're in
Marduk.
the real shit now.
Yeah.
Marduk, that's an ancient Babylonian god. Babylon, in biblical context, is the representation of rebellion, worldliness, and the opposition to God. So it's basically the anti-nerve. And it's a kind of a shell corporation existing with a bunch of different corporations funding espionage to investigate the shit that's going on.
Yeah.
And the way it's delivered by some like old lady that he's just randomly meeting up with, it's very mysterious, and like there's more to this world than what we're seeing just from Nerve.
Because the outward appearance of the Marduk Institute is that they're the ones that are tracking down the children.
The children, yeah. They're the ones funding the children and trying to find them, and they're going to save the world, but realistically, they're SpaceX, doing something.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kaji he tells us he's been given orders to investigate Nerve by someone. We don't know who. Who is it? We don't know if it's the Marduk Institute. We don't know what it is. But then, hard cut, Shinji. He's got to meet his dad tomorrow. He's nervous.
He's scared, man.
He's like, I got to meet my dad. And you're like, oh, it's obviously has to do with his school, right? He's got to go see. It's that school thing he was talking about a couple episodes ago. No. He's got to go. It's the anniversary of his mother's death, so he's got to do that with his dad. But interestingly enough, between Shinji talking about meeting his dad and where they actually meet up, there is a like montage of the children doing like chores and stuff. And Ray's focused on a lot. There's a very heavy focus on Ray and how she wrings out a towel, and
Dude, I mean, obviously that one was super important. Do we want to jump to that, or should we keep going and then we'll bring it up again later?
We'll keep going.
Because as it stands right now, it's just Shinji being completely out of pocket, saying like, "Wow, it's like you're a mom ringing out."
It's like you're a mom.
You're old hag ringing out.
You're an old hag ringing out that cloth.
Jesus, Shinji, that's weirdo.
I don't know. That's not how I took it. I mean, we know that.
No, we're just
I don't know. Shinji is obviously malnourished when it comes to social programs, but I just like, I don't think it's like you didn't look like an old woman. It's more like it was a mother. Like it looked like it was motherly, but then of course her reaction is that she blushes, and you're like, oh, brother.
Yeah,
it's
like, maybe one day you'd make a great housewife.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, the housewife comment on the other hand, that was okay. That was a little weird.
Well, it's also kind of a in Japanese culture, there's caring for the elements, caring for the things around you. So Shinji's seeing her care so much about a small thing, about wringing out a towel. It's a very like motherly thing of like taking care of the house, taking care of nature or whatever. So that's just kind of, but he's also just socially awkward, and he's in a weird position because he doesn't want to go see his dad. And he's just like, and when he's in these positions where he has something he has to do, he doesn't want to do it. He starts lashing out. This is when Shinji becomes bad boy mode, where he's just like, I'm gonna start saying some fucked up shit. And we have these quotes of like, it's not if Shinji doesn't want to, he just can't. Like he can't engage with people. And they have you can't run away all the time. It's not about the first step, Shinji. It's about the ones after that matter the most.
Bunch of people sending him inspirational emails. This episode.
No, I think the big one here, the biggest lore job here, is Shinji being musically inclined. This
Yeah.
is the
Dude, that was my literally. I only have like 6 bullet points, and one of them is like Shinji plays the cello? Question mark.
yeah. He has a passion outside of
Yeah.
And
being a pilot.
and Asuka goes, "Why do you do it?" And he goes, "Well, nobody told me to stop,
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so Shinji. It really is.
motherfucker."
But yeah, he's musically inclined. It comes up later. Anyways, we get to go to the graveyard where there's not a body there. It's just like a ceremonial kind of grave, kind of like for like
Yeah.
World War II veterans that died or whatever,
Yeah.
or World War I
Wonder
veterans.
why there's no body.
There's no bodies. There's a bunch of no bodies for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But then we get that moment where Gendo lands and he's like, "Yo," and then they just kind of stand there, and Shinji's like, "Well, the last time we like hung out was 3 years ago," and
For this.
Gendo's
Yeah.
and then Shinji is like, "Hey, I really think I'm doing a good job and everything," and then Gendo just kind of leaves.
I like
but-
the moment where he's like, "Dad, this meant a lot to me," and he's like, "Really?" And then
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, okay."
all right.
But yeah, this is the cyclical nature of Shinji. Is something that people who are vulnerable, I feel like, run into a lot, where they let their guard down with people, and then they're met with a response that they're not expecting, which is like, it's not on paper, it's not a horrible thing, right? But in this context, it definitely is. But like in real life, it's not. You shouldn't expect everyone to react a certain way.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a very much like shoving down of Shinji, of like stuffing it in, like don't let anything out, like hold yourself to this and just be quiet. And he keeps being reminded of that through every episode in this like batch of like every time he's open, people are like, "Shut up." Like then we get to learn about Kaji and the ladies. This is kind of where the episode, it's whatever, but it's still important stuff.
It
You get to learn-
chills out though.
Yeah.
Until
but-
before it
yeah.
warms up again.
So it chills out, and they're all hanging out. They're getting drunk, and they're like, "Oh, are they gonna have a threesome? This is crazy, dude. They all fucked each other. This is awesome." And then Misato gets really drunk, and then Kaji decides to be a good guy. Maybe he's
maybe.
carrying Misato home, and we get to learn more about Misato. And she's just like, "Listen, I'm just like Shinji." She says straight up.
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm just like Shinji, and I only chase after men because I want to hide from my insecurities, and because I miss my dad, and because I hate my dad, and there's
even
a very
now I'm drunk and using you to lash out.
I'm using you, to lash out against the actual emotional trauma that I have yet to deal with." And there's a lot. This is kind of another another parental child representation of trauma that is further reintroduced consistently, especially from here on out. It's in every episode where it's there's some, we're unpacking the trauma here. And then we get Asuka and Shinji.
Asuka went on a bad date.
Asuka went on a bad date, which
ditched the loser at the
ditched
store.
the loser.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Yo, Shinji, I'm bored. Let's kiss."
A truly iconic Evangelion moment. It's one of the ones that people fall back on when they talk about the sort of awkwardness that the series presents itself.
Yeah.
But again, it is one of those things that Zach and I talk about where it's like, this is a mirror being set up in front of you. How you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, this is one of those like, "Oh, are you excited for this? Kill yourself" moments, It's like and then, but yeah, Shinji's just like, no, I don't want to kiss you. What? And then Asuka, this is another thing. Shinji's like being real with a person, and then Asuka's like, you don't want to kiss me because your mom died today, or like
Yeah.
what? And then
Yeah.
she's like, do you not want your mom watching you from heaven?
She's being a real
Uh,
bitch.
And then Shinji just like, no, I'm not scared. It's just kissing.
Yeah.
And then they kiss. But she
I
holds
mean,
Shinji's nose.
yeah. It's like I guess kiss is very because it
Yeah.
really is. They don't show it. You don't actually. You kind of just get like lower like hand acting in this particular moment, and it really is extremely long. There's no actual kissing. She's pinched his nose. Pen has some good like. He's like, not my problem.
Pippin's just chilling,
Yeah.
dude.
Ben 10 stood out on this
Yeah,
one for sure.
yeah.
And then, Shinji starts changing colors. Is it because he's embarrassed, or is he losing
She's
oxygen to
suffocating him,
his
yeah.
body?
He's losing oxygen because she literally pinches his fucking nose because she says your breath is tickling me. So she holds his
Yeah.
nose and then like
Yeah,
sucks it.
kiss for like 2.5 minutes straight.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just one of those moments where they're playing with your
Yeah.
expectations,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
where you're like, oh, he's blushing. Oh my god, they kiss. And you're like, wait, he's
Yeah.
actually just dying.
He's dying. Yeah.
And then she's like, you know what?
Well, it's not like anyone else ever gets their oxygen supply cut down in this apartment.
Yeah, that would no. Yeah, then she goes washes her mouth
Yeah,
down. She's
gargles.
like,
Yeah.
that sucks. And then Misato comes home with Kaji, and Kaji puts her to bed, puts Misato to bed.
Yeah.
And
Asuka very upset
Asuka's
that
mad.
he smells like her lavender perfume that she wanted to borrow from Misato earlier in the episode.
And yeah, she's also mad because she kissed Shinji. Actually,
Shinji,
she's not
she's just
mad.
like- yeah.
She's not mad because of the perfume. She's mad because she kissed Shinji. Like whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's specifically mentioned Rei is absent again. I'm like, where is Rei? She's absent from school. Where is she? And then you fucking see her floating in a tube, dude.
Mewtwo over here, fucking floating in a tube.
Yeah, she's below Central Dogma, floating in a tube.
Back the tank. Star Wars back the tank, right down there.
And then
Gendo
below
that,
yeah, we have Gendo looking at a little girl.
Naked girl floating in a tube, yeah.
What we learn later on makes it less creepy, but it's really very creepy.
Yeah. I feel like at one point, I can't remember if it's this episode or previous episode where Futsuki, like people are starting to question Gendo.
Like why are they so close? Yeah,
because they don't. Because we did when Gendo takes off in the helicopter at the funeral thing. Rei is on the helicopter.
Rei's just in there chilling.
Well, the thing is that again, we get played with our expectations because we know that Shinji sees Rei when she may or may not be there.
Yeah.
And so we are led to believe that because then when they cut to the helicopter again, you only see silhouettes. We don't see her again.
Yeah.
And so we're intentionally led to believe that she may or may not be there.
Yeah. She's a watcher. She's there at pivotal moments in the lore.
Very interesting. She's in episode 1, just like there.
Before
the blinking. It was God, that episode 1's so fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, then below Central Dogma is Terminal Dogma. There's a big ass door, and Kaji is hacking it. So Kaji, he's up to no good, as we know. He's trying to get in there. Misato pulls up, puts a Glock to his dome. He's like, this is my turf. What are you doing? And then Kaji's like, listen, hey, I'm being used by Gendo. Gendo's telling me to do this. I'm doing this on his accord.
Yeah. And
also, Misato, listen, Ritsuko and Gendo, they're hiding something from you. You need to watch out, okay? There's something going on that you are not aware of. And then the doors open.
Yeah, slides the card. Doors open.
And we see nailed to a cross.
with what bodies coming out of the
with
lower
bodies
half.
coming out of it.
Yeah, big
Um,
pasty white being nailed to a cross with a mask on.
with the mask on that looks a lot like something. And then we get the name drop. That's Adam,
That's Adam. That is
the
absolutely Adam.
first angel.
The first.
But this begs the question: what was in the case?
Yeah.
Because if we recall,
we can't answer that question right
I know.
now.
I'm here to be the viewer following along.
Yeah.
We know that Kaji delivered a case, and Gendo's reaction is like, "Oh yeah, fuck, we got Adam in a box, man, right here."
Yeah.
So it seems there's more at work here.
Right. So what happened? Right? Did they hatch Adam and it turned into what's there? Because the other part of this is that sitting in this being's chest is the spear of Longinus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray did something.
Right.
That spear does something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll learn one day.
Maybe we'll learn about it one day. Who knows? We'll figure out the true meaning of this Adam nailed to a cross.
What's crazy to me is I've stood in front of that spear.
Yeah, you did.
I was there. And
You felt
I
its
felt
power.
it. I felt it. I was just like, no, dude. I look at those pictures of I look at those pictures still and I start crying. I was like, man, that was a spiritual experience.
Episode 15 ends on one hell of a cliffhanger. The ultimate questions are now starting to present themselves, and Eva, with you've received no answers up to this point.
Only questions.
Only more questions, and
then on top of that,
just
the end of the preview of next episode is fucking crazy.
It is. It's crazy. Masato really burying the lead with this.
Dude,
the next episode.
so in the original, it's Fly Me to the Moon plays, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then it immediately cuts to a zoomed in picture of Shinji's face all blown up and says, "The puffed up Shinji gets swallowed in a sea of Dirac." And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so Sea of Dirac is another science thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And then on top of, like, again, we the three of us know what happens in episode 16, which is fucking insane. But I don't know. It's just like, why are we calling this the Dirac Sea? I don't. It's crazy.
Also, episode 15, we didn't give its title. It was "Those Women Longed for the Touch of Others' Lips and Thus Invited Their Kisses." That's the title of episode 15.
You know what? I think they nailed it on that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Episode 16, the next episode, Splitting the Breast.
Splitting the breasts. Dude.
I can't wait for. Oh my god, I can't wait for that. The next batch of episodes is just. We're probably gonna have to start slowing down on the number of episodes we watch from here on out, because this is 2.5 hours.
We got a two-parter.
Yeah,
we could always split it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry that I spent so long in episode 13.
That is why we.
That's the point.
I know. So I only felt a little bad. It was just so jam packed. I mean, it's literally it is one of those things that it felt like that aspect of Nerve, that aspect of the Evangelion universe could have been its own entire thing. Just the computer and biological nature of the show. It's crazy.
It's the spin-off series. It's like the Lone Gunman from the X-Files, just its own thing with the
kind of, yeah. Actually, that is funny that you mention it. The one thing that you do see on that one scene that I talked about where Masato picks up the coffee is that
on the binder of one of the folders that's on there is the X file. Coincidence? Who knows? Maybe.
Right.
It's, I think, in conclusion, we can all say it's fun to watch things with a critical eye and
Yeah.
think deeply about things that you love.
Yeah.
And
Especially
maybe-
well, especially if you get the right material to do it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's
There's a lot of things you could do this to and just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
but I definitely think, especially now that it's all out here and you can just do it at your own pace, I definitely personally vote go fast, go hard, whatever like you feel is your mind is capable of doing. I personally binge it because I don't know, like I was just telling Zach, I didn't start my rewatch portion until Sunday. Is that was the cadence of my catch up to get to this point. So I listened to all the episodes. So I listened to episode 0. I watched 1 through 5, and then and did all those over the last 4 days. So I will be listening to the other episodes, but by the time that I get there, the issue is going to be that I will probably have already gotten to the rebuilds by the time.
I'm so excited
like,
for our rebuilds.
So for some of it, I'll probably just like pull up some of the scenes to like make sure that I'm reminding myself. But like there are so many unwasted frames of episodes in Evangelion that it's really hard to discuss it in a short time frame.
I mean, there's even scenes
is.
that linger, like what would seemingly be too long, but have
they become more poignant. Like, I don't know. Like again, and that's just the hallmark of a good director in that case. And in respect to Ano, is that the what would be a wasted frame becomes unwasted because it actually implies something instead of
a 5-second scene of Shinji laying on his bed with pulling a pillow over his head is it's like poignant, like still like it's something that happens, and it's just
and also him changing the track of his cassette tape. That's just like it's just something he
25
randomly
and 26
throws,
over and over
throws
and over
in.
again, except for that one time where he goes back to he somehow
especially that one time he goes back to 13.
His cassette tape. Yeah, Lilliputian Hitcher, episode 13. Interesting.
Oh, we didn't mention what the Lilliputians were.
That was
the Gulliver's Travel.
Gulliver's Travel, yeah.
Yeah.
That was because it's like whatever. They're just little guys.
That's little guys.
Yeah.
Just little guys.
But see, even the title just kind of supports what this whole show is about, where it's like if you examine things and do research into media that is like an actual, like there's substance here, it's a metatextual story. It's using allegory and illusion to beam radioactively into your brain. Hey, look, check this shit out, dude. What the fuck? Like, and yeah, it's so fun. I can't wait till we reach the end, because I have a plan. There's gonna be a you must discuss recap episode, and it's gonna be fun.
I would. When we get to the end, if you guys are going to do like a let's all talk about the whole thing episode,
that's the plan.
Where we're all going to sit around and clap, then I will be there.
We're going to have
if you will have me. So
yeah. I want to have you and Tyler on because Tyler just watched it for his first time, and I really want
fucking crazy.
And I want him to be in here with us to be like, what the because.
He's on what, the next batch, right?
Yeah, he's watching the rebuilds.
Yeah, he just finished end of, and he's starting.
But which one is he joining you guys for?
Just like I think for like the last episode, maybe.
Oh, okay, for the recap.
Yeah. Just because like there's so much within this series that you just don't catch because like everyone catches different things.
Yeah,
and once you come together
Yeah.
it represents a greater whole, and I want him involved because one, he's new, so there's definitely so much stuff he hasn't caught, and I
Yeah.
just want to like lift him up and
But
be
yeah,
like, bro.
well, not only that, but like, tell me, fresh face, like what is of value to you?
Yeah.
Because it's like I
Yeah.
can't watch it for the first time again.
Yeah.
And you know what Zach's big projects always are on these shows, so you know what to expect, what we have planned for the finale.
We're gonna have diagrams. We're gonna have graphs. We're gonna have charts. We're gonna have investor numbers. It's gonna be crazy.
ROI
Um,
for the Evangelion project.
ROI, return on investment for this series, 100%, maybe even 200%.
Perfect synchronization ratio for all of us here.
What an episode, boys! I think
That was crazy.
I think we nailed
think
it.
we did it. I'm glad Taylor was able to hang out.
Yeah.
No, thank you for having me. It was wonderful to discuss media, if even Evangelion or otherwise, for such an extended period of time.
Yeah.
That's what we've
Yeah.
been finding. It's just so fun to actually
Yeah.
talk deeply about things with like-minded people. It feels
Yeah.
it feels refreshing.
Yeah, Zach and I always our DMs are just like, this is nice to be able to talk to somebody with significant thoughts about this, because we've never had that experience before. Like,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
face to
it's
face.
you know, it's the
Yeah.
the book club of anime, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we're doing an anime book club and doing it in style.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, with so much media, it's so easy to like talk to your partner and be like, yo, there's this thing that's so cool because of this, and this. And then your partner's like, oh, that is cool. Like I was talking to my wife, and I was like, yeah, yesterday I realized something. And then in my mind I was like, I want to tell her, but I'm like, how do I tell her about this Moses thing? Like I can't just I can't explain this to her.
Yeah.
And that's just always been my issue with talking about this series with people. Is it's so hard to bring it up with anybody because it's just like, I don't know where you stand. I don't know what you understand about this, about me, about, so it's like I just kind of keep it to myself. So it feels good to like let out this explosion with my friend JJ.
Yeah. I look forward to it every week. I look forward to this more than I look forward to doing the side quest, if I'm gonna be honest. Don't tell Dally.
People actually listen to each other on this one, which is like crazy.
Oh, I think it's time to wrap it up. I don't want to
Yeah.
I don't closing time. You don't have to go home, but we can't stay here.
Good games, boys.
It was a pleasure talking to you, lads.
All right. Until next time, episodes.
See ya.
Episodes
See you next
16
time.
Yeah, 16 through we'll decide.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Prepare
Yeah.
yourself.
Prepare yourself. When you're gonna hit play on these, and you're gonna be in for a roller coaster.
I hope to see you next time.
Yeah. Adios.